It's no question that as of recent, mail delivery has been slower and frustrating, not just for residents, but for postal workers. The Trump administration is withholding funding from the Postal Service as Democrats say the service needs more money because the pandemic caused USPS to lose money on top of the upcoming election where a lot of Americans are expected to vote by mail. During a Thursday press briefing, President Trump said that he wanted to give the Postal Service more money, just not the same amount as Democrats want.
This morning you said that you do not want to fund the U.S. Postal Service because Democrats are trying to expand voting by mail. So I've got two questions for you. One, are you threatening to veto any legislation that includes funding for the post office?
No, not at all, no.
So you would sign something that does include funding?
A separate thing, I would do it. But one of the reasons the post office needs that much money is to have all of these millions of ballots coming in from nowhere, and nobody knows from where and where they're going. You saw what happened in Caitlin in Virginia. It was 500,000 applications coming in, going all over the state. Nobody even knows where they came from. You saw what happened in New York, which was a disaster with Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. It was a basic disaster. And you see Paterson, New Jersey, what's going on there. And we can give you many other locations and sites. What has happened is that's part of a big negotiation. That's actually small part of a big negotiation to get more money to people that it wasn't their fault. It was China's fault. And post office is part of it. Another part of it is they want $3.5 billion just for the ballots themselves. Why it's so much, I don't know, but that's what the Democrats want. But if the bill isn't going to get done, that would mean the post office isn't going to get funded. And that would also mean that the $3.5 billion isn't going to be taken care of. So I don't know how you could possibly use these ballots, these mail-in ballots. Absentee ballots, by the way, are fine. But the universal mail-ins that are just sent all over the place, where people can grab them and grab stacks of them and sign them and do whatever you want, that's the thing we're against.
This also follows an interview the president did with Fox Business, where he admitted that giving the Postal Service less money will discourage and make it harder to vote by mail.
Now, in the meantime, they aren't getting there. By the way, those are just two items. But if they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it.
Even before this interview was conducted, locals were experiencing mail issues and people in different parts of the country were as well. A Postal Service Inspector General is reviewing the actions of Postmaster General Louis DeJoy and potential conflicts of interest, as well as ethics violations. Reporting in Toledo, I'm Jaden Jefferson.